Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're going to make a video just, I suppose, on an overview of what could be the best case and the worst case scenario of altcoins, right? So first of all, we have to acknowledge that the downtrend has largely been dictated by Bitcoin, and until Bitcoin finds its bottom, we can't expect altcoins to turn around. It's not going to happen, right? So there's things about Bitcoin's chart, and we're going to look at things on the weekly because it's going to give us the best ideas generally. There's things about Bitcoin on the weekly here that don't look good, and there's other aspects of it which could still be okay. So first of all, I've made a video on Bitcoin today, but overall we're playing an inside range and an outside range at the moment. Now, if the outside range breaks down, we probably would enter, I suppose it would be a bear market. I mean, weekly candle body closes below 33,000 lends itself to further continuation to new lows. So we're talking low 20s, and then we'll see what the chart looks like then. We have to take things level by level, and we could enter a bear market, right? The bear market might go, and this is worst case scenario. Remember, we're talking best case, worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, we end up down between 16 and maybe even 12, or we'll just call it, it's this 200 exponential here, so it's going to be around 13 and maybe 14, so quite low considering where we are right now. That would be, what would this probably be, about 50 or 60%? Yeah, about 60% if it were to do it now, but if it were to be a bear market, it would be a sustained downtrend that would peak or bottom out around that 200 exponential, I would imagine. So that's worst case scenario. Best case scenario is, I suppose, where we bounce from one of these new lows. So this has already been hit. This zone here, corresponding to this, we could get another low, possibly down to this zone where we would find a decent bounce. So this could be the bottom. This also could be the bottom. So the best case scenario is that the bottom is already in, and we have a double bottom form, and we bounce from here, and that's it. It's over with. So then Bitcoin will continue going up. Some altcoins will follow it, some won't, and the reason I say that some won't is because we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. The Bitcoin dominance chart, if Bitcoin were to bounce, money will go back into Bitcoin because it is the one that's dictating the market. It dictated the downtrend, it will likely dictate the uptrend, and Bitcoin needs to get into a healthy position before people start to risk their money on small cap altcoins, which is they're the ones that we love, all right? Top caps will often follow Bitcoin in an uptrend, but given the fact that the Bitcoin dominance is so low, they will likely follow it, and this is just my opinion, even in the best case scenario, they will likely follow it to a smaller extent. So Bitcoin will outperform altcoins, generally speaking, until we come up to a level of resistance. A significant one, this isn't significant, but it's worth marking out, 52% dominance. I think that'll break in this zone here, between 56 and 58. That's probably where we'll find the next rejection. We don't really know when that will be. We'll have to see where we are when we get there, but I would imagine towards the end of the year. So knowing that is something to plan for, right? So let's have a look at some altcoins, and we'll have a look at the difference. So we'll have a look at some of the top caps. So we'll start with Ethereum. So this is Ethereum on the weekly. So Ethereum on the weekly doesn't look all that bad. In fact, it's stronger than Bitcoin, definitely. Well, you know me, I like to trade the Ichimoku cloud, and currently this weekly Ichi cloud is still in play. It's not been negated. We got the cross down here. We've been sailing it all the way up ever since, and we've not had a get out of this trade signal yet. So this weekly bull run is still in play, surprisingly, despite this horrendous wick down. So this is still okay as far as the entry point, which would have been down here, to wherever the exit point is, which, like I say, isn't here right now, and it's not, we've not been told to get out of it. So the weekly on Ethereum is okay for those who bought the entry point, which was down here at the conversion baseline cross. This is still in play. Also, this is going to surprise you, EOS is also doing the same thing. We had a conversion baseline cross over here, more or less where the candle is as of today. But this isn't a good example, but it's something worth taking note of. This trend, surprisingly, hasn't given us an exit point, so this is still technically in play. So another top cap coin which looks horrendous, way worse than Ethereum, way worse than Bitcoin, but isn't over yet. I know that sounds shocking. So there's two coins there which are showing us not signs of strength, but not telling us that it's over. XRP, another love it or hate it. We had first entry point on the conversion baseline was down here before this first big breakout. Well, it's the second one really, and then we got a second one over here. Again, not been cancelled out. It's still technically in play. 3 top cap altcoins there, which will have a large portion of the market cap on the Bitcoin dominance. Between the 3 of them will be about 30% or maybe even 40%. Quite a lot of the market cap, to be honest with you. Maybe not 40%, but quite a lot between all of them of that Bitcoin dominance chart. So they're okay. Some of these coins do not look okay and do not have these kind of strong signals. This is another one that we liked. We did an epic trade based on the Ichimoku cloud, and this one is way finished. This is dead. This is finished now. It's over with. It's gone. But this is why we like altcoins, right? So those who watch the channel, I got in this before any of this breakout, based upon strong signals, and we only trade signals, we only trade charts, we don't trade emotions, we don't trade things that we like the sound of or the logo looks cool and snazzy. We don't trade any of that. We trade based on what we see, and this is telling us the very much the opposite. Now this has been devastated and will likely continue to be devastated, because there's no chance that this is going to turn around and give us a buy signal anytime soon. Finished, over with, done and dusted. Another good example is Bepro. I mean, you can't even really see what's going on here, but you've got to believe me when I tell you. You have to stick it on a log scale to see. This one is another one of those coins which is done, dusted, over with, wrecked, and will continue to get even more wrecked. Look, 95% from the top to its lowest wick, and I've marked out areas where I think it could bottom out. That's at 98% retracement from that level, and basically a 99.3 basically from the top to the bottom. Wrecked, done, dusted, no buy signals on this one. We can't enter a trade with no buy signals, and especially when something looks like it could do way more damage than has already been done. So these small cap coins are not to be messed with. They're just not. So there are signs that the Bitcoin dominance, and the reason I'm showing you a combination of small caps to top caps is that the top caps will suggest that weeklies technically are still okay, and in some cases are stronger than Bitcoin, which would mean that if we are looking for rejections on this chart, we're looking for them at lower levels, because some of those coins, even though they will trend with Bitcoin, and I still believe that Bitcoin when it turns around will outperform those coins, they will keep the Bitcoin dominance from going all the way up to the absolute top. Just a theory, but it's based upon market cap of the top caps plus their charts on the weeklies, which don't look horrendous. Small cap coins will probably, some of these will likely continue to downtrend while the market is recovering, which sounds ridiculous, but it's true. That happened over here. This is where Bitcoin made its rally. It was a 300% rally. This is the difference it made on the Bitcoin dominance chart. It's not much, but it was enough to continue the downtrend for some of the small cap and some of even the mid cap coins. Now things like Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, they did trail behind Bitcoin, but obviously for the Bitcoin dominance chart to go up like this, Bitcoin outperformed everything, generally speaking, to the point where it pretty much had 3/4 of the market cap of the entire crypto market, right? So I'm not expecting these highs to be taken again, because we've already seen that some of the top cap, real top cap altcoins are still stronger than Bitcoin and still don't have get out of the trade signals. They still look like, despite what they physically look like, certain signals on there suggest that they're actually still okay, to hold if you bought in at those low levels. Things can change, but that's what it suggests. So we're expecting Bitcoin dominance to increase when Bitcoin turns around and goes bullish again, but we're also expecting the Bitcoin dominance chart to increase, but also get rejected at lower levels of resistance rather than sail all the way up to the top. But whatever it does, I don't expect any of those small cap coins to turn around anytime soon, which is why I've started to make a few videos on them, not so much as warnings, but as opportunities potentially somewhere down the line. Earliest would be the end of this year, but sometimes when things go parabolic like that, and then they just downtrend for such a significant amount of time, they can take years. Yeah, they can take years to even go into anything that resembles what they did previously. And I'm not joking, and some things might not ever recover, which is something also you've got to bear in mind. I've been around in crypto long enough to see some altcoins look like they're going to take over the world, and then basically get delisted because they trade at basically zero. No one's buying them, no one's selling them, the chart stays still, they die basically, they die. And exchanges don't want dead coins. They just don't. It makes the exchange look bad. It's not good. They get rid of them, and that's what can and will happen to some altcoins. I'm not joking. No altcoin it will continue forever. They die out all the time. So what I'm trying to put across here is that there is a very simple way to deal with this market right now, which is to focus only on Bitcoin. If you're looking to make trades into altcoins, unless they're these top cap altcoins which aren't likely to die, even EOS and XRP, I know how that sounds, but aren't likely to die, then Bitcoin is your main focus. And the only time we can ever really get excited about making trades into the small cap altcoins is when we come towards the resistances on Bitcoin dominance, which again, this is a weekly chart, doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, but these are the zones where we'll be looking at. 52%, 56, 58, and then we still have to be cautious. We don't just enter into altcoins because Bitcoin dominance has gone to these levels. We then see that we're at these resistance levels, then we go on to some of these altcoin charts and see what they say. We don't just buy them randomly and blindly, we look at what the chart looks like themselves. But this is the first point of reference. Second point of reference would be your altcoin of choice. So this is why I'm scouring through some of these small and medium cap coins at the moment, to work out how low they could possibly go, look at what sort of rough time frame it might take for them to hit those lows, and then when it comes to the time to make the transition from Bitcoin to altcoins, we'll look at those charts all over again and maybe buy into them at levels of resistance on the Bitcoin dominance chart, depending on whatever coin it is that you're looking to trade. There's not really much chance that small cap altcoins will have any significant sustained massive runs and rallies like we've seen recently, maybe even this year. Some might, some probably won't, and some maybe never do it again. No altcoin is created equal. There's been an enormous amount of money going to altcoins, and then there's been a massive amount of money being taken out of them, and it can kill altcoins. But you've got to have a strategy, you've got to have a plan, and things don't happen overnight, and that's fine, because we don't want to be sitting at our computers all day, every day, scratching our heads, trading with emotions. We want to make plans, and those plans do take time to play out. So it's all about Bitcoin, unfortunately. I know that's boring, but it's true. It's all about Bitcoin, and eventually what's going to happen is this Bitcoin dominance chart will go up. It will go back up again. And I will only be interested in buying on the small caps when we're at these resistances, and I won't just be doing it blindly. I'll be doing it when not only we're at resistance, but those altcoins of choice are also showing signs of turning around themselves. And that is how you make the big money. You don't just make big money buying into something because it's going to change the world or whatever, or like I say, it's got a snazzy logo or whatever. You buy into them because the chart wants you to. You know what I mean? This is how it works. This is how it worked for us in January, and it worked extremely well. This is how it's going to work for us again. This is a bearish chart, let's face it. And given what I've said about the top cap altcoins, keeping this chart to relative lows makes sense. It will continue to be a bearish looking chart. We will make lower highs, and if we're lucky, we will make lower lows. But we're not going to be buying into anything now. Just like anything, you trade support and resistance. You don't trade anything other than that. You trade what you see, what you can hold on to, what makes sense. And at the moment, what makes sense is small cap altcoins are not going to have a good time. Even if Bitcoin and the market move up, they will probably go down. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, but I suppose you enjoyed that. It depends on what side of the game you're playing right now, but there's no crystal ball. No one knows exactly what's going on, but this is how I've always played the market. There's always been a rotation from Bitcoin to altcoins. We used to be able to play this channel. That's how we used to be able to do it. This has been the best trade since. And now what we're looking to do is to do something very similar to when we traded this channel over a pit. This is a downwards channel. This was how we played it. You go into altcoins here, you go into Bitcoin when we find a bounce, back into altcoins here, go into Bitcoin here, back into altcoins here, and then back into Bitcoin down here, which is what I've been doing, and then back into altcoins. Maybe some here, but most likely some around here. And I'm not joking. It's not something I've just made up. It's something I've been doing for years. And because I've been doing it for years, I will continue to do it, because this is how the big money is made. This is how you make loads of money. You don't make loads of money just buying into an altcoin because somebody somewhere said that it's good. I mean, that is a gamble, and it could work out for you. But if you really wanted to be clever about it, you use simple, basic structure of support and resistance based upon where the money is going to be flowing. Is it going to be coming out of altcoins into Bitcoin, or out of Bitcoin and into altcoins? If you think about if you think about all altcoins and the crypto market as a whole as a load of pint glasses, right? There's only so much water. Let's just say there's a gallon of water and 8 glasses, and that's the entire market cap of crypto. Now, obviously, there can be more money go into it and more water added, but you're basically pouring water from one glass to another, and so on and so on and so on. It's going to rotate. This is how the market generally works, and you make the most money when you scale out of Bitcoin into altcoins, because it doesn't take much for these altcoins to go up way more. The smaller the market cap, the less money it takes for the bigger candles to be created. But for the moment, despite the temptation to go into altcoins, because some of them are so low, they can go a hell of a lot lower, trust me. And the only way I'll be ever tempted to go into them is based upon where is that rotation going to happen. Is it going to happen here? Maybe. Is it going to happen here? Probably. And is it going to have a continued move down on this chart, which means that it's an alt season, which means that we can buy into altcoins and we can hold them for a prolonged period of time, and not just try and get them for the bounces, which can be good. Obviously, bounces on altcoins, especially small caps, can be really good. But I don't want the 50% moves. I want the 1000% moves, and that's how we make them. We make them based upon this. And again, like I say, I've been doing this for years. It's a very simple strategy to employ, and it's the same strategy I will intend on using indefinitely, because it works really well. And this is how I'm planning out the next rotation. At the moment, mostly into Bitcoin, unfortunately. I know it's boring, but it's just a means to an end. It's a means to an end, all right? Some people call me a Bitcoin maxi. You can call me that now. That's fine. You could call me that to a large extent now, but you wouldn't have been able to call me that around here. This is where we were going out of Bitcoin, so you call me an altcoin maxi here. I'm not a maxi of anything. I'm a trader of cryptocurrency, and this is how I do it, and it works very well. It just takes time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.